Good morning. This is Mark Van Dyke. Welcome to our last summer session.
And I'm Matthew Stoles, MA here at OCBC, and we hope you're all doing well.
Today's service is a little different format as we'll have two short drama messages. We're going to have some music from our BCA drama friends from Hawaii, California, and Oregon. I'm going to do a little spoken word. And this service is dedicated to my teacher, my guide, and my friend Sachi. So from there, we're going to move on to Jusege. I have the words as part of the slide, so you can chant along with that. Oh my God.
Dagon Chosegon Hishi Mujodo Shigan Fumanzo Sei Fujo Shoga Gao Muryo Fui Dai Seishu Fusai Shobingu Sei Fujo Shoga Gashi Jobutsudo Myosho Chojipo Kugyo Mishomon Seifujo Shoga Ryokujin Shonen Oe Shubangyo Shigumu Jodo Isho Tenin Shi Jinriki Endaiko Fusho Musoldo Shoujo Sankumyo Kosai Shuyakunan Kaihichi Egen Meshi Kanmoan Heisokusho Akudo Sudatsu Zenshuman Kosojo Manzo Iyorojipo Nichigatsu Shujuki Kenko Anpugen Ishukai Hozo Kokie Kudokuho Jodai Shuju Seppo Shishiku Kuyo Isai Buj Busokushu Tokuhan Gan Ishi Sujoman Toku Isan Gai O Yobutsumu Gechi Su Tsumi Fusho Gangaku Iri Toshi Sai Shosan Shigan Yakoka Daisen no Kando Oku Shotenin To Uchin Yoke Namandabu 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 Ganishi Kudoku Yodo Seisai Tohon Bodai Ishin Ojo An Namandas, Namandas, Namandas.
As one little candle lights another, so the light of Buddha's compassion will pass from one mind to another mind endlessly. Thank you, Sachi, for lighting the path and showing us the way.
We hope that you will find a sense of peace and comfort in the Gatha Ondoku-san, gratefulness. Ondoku-san conveys Shimura Shonen's profound joy and gratitude toward Amida Buddha's boundless wisdom and compassion, which he could encounter through the Pure Land masters and teachers in India, Japan, China, and Japan. Fun fact: Ondoku-san is one of the over 500 hymns which were written by Shinran Shonen.
parable of the poison arrow. The Buddha always told his disciples not to waste their time and energy in metaphysical speculations. Whenever he was asked a metaphysical question, he remained silent. Instead, he directed his disciples toward practical efforts. Question one day about the problem of infinity of the world, the Buddha said, whether the world is finite or infinite, limited or unlimited, the problem of your liberation remains the same. Another time he said, suppose a man is struck by a poison arrow and the doctor wishes to take out the arrow immediately. Suppose the man does not want the arrow removed until he knows who shot it, his age, his parents, and why he shot it. What would happen? If he were to wait until all these questions have been answered, the man might die first. Life is so short. It must not be spent in endless speculation that does not bring us any closer to the truth. So it's a brief discussion on this. The title you can see is what really matters. And these are Buddha's words. You can check the full version. There's Dhammapada and there's other sources for this. But therefore consider carefully what I have taught and what I have not taught. And sometimes I think what I have not taught is actually more important than what was taught, because you can go round and round on these speculative metaphysical questions, and this is not saying that science, that questioning if there's an end of the universe, because I always question that too. What is the end of the universe? Where is the beginning? All that is really fascinating for me. I love geology. I love looking at the stars, history, but all that can't get in the way of your liberation. So the questions here is, by reading the parable, the first idea that comes to mind is that the wounded man's attitude is absurd and senseless. However, the Buddha is telling us that we all behave in this way and without realizing it. Do we think I can only be happy after I accomplish certain goals? Only then will I feel content. Only then will I resolve the issue of awakening. Do we think I cannot follow the Dharma until I know the answers to endless metaphysical questions? And from the three treasures, we say this all the time, and I think when we look at a deeper meaning of this, hard is to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult it is to hear the Dharma of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? And our fun fact here, when are the 2 times the Buddha would remain silent? When asked one of the 14 unanswered questions, and when giving the flower sermon. And of course, the flower sermon, Buddha doesn't say anything, he just holds a flower. The 14 unanswered questions, you can look those up online. They are pretty interesting. The way the Buddha states it is interesting as well. He tells his monks, I didn't teach you that. I taught you this, and the reason I taught you this and not that. So he explains all that, and it's really an interesting read. And I have some spoken words. I can convey myself better sometimes in poetry or writing, or sometimes with no words at all. So I'm going to just let these words speak for themselves. It's late spring in Death Valley. We passed the eastern Sierra, past Mount Whitney, the highest point, traveling on to Badwater, the lowest vista, traveling to land of dark skies and jewels. And then I think of you, my friend. You have been here, awakening, standing, walking and walking. Mara walks behind you. Then you sit down again. How can you teach what you've seen? Will they know? Can they know? Words, sound, and vision are merely steps in the ladder to truth. It could all be here in nature. When I am here, I gaze at the layers of geology, knowing that we only present a sliver of time. When I am here, speeding through the Milky Way to a star that no longer exists, we are a flicker of light. It is then I think that if everyone could take the time to gaze at the stars, maybe they would understand that all the fighting, all the hate, it's futile. I wonder when the mad season will give way to the springtime of compassion. It is late spring in Death Valley. The mountains are grand staircases. The desert is quiet. The sky is clear. For now, that is all I know. That is all I need to know. To know. To know. Ancient seas, waves crashing into a memory. To know a story that only the sands can tell. The time is now, but it's very, very late. A billion years within my grasp. If you take my hand, you could hold the earth. Would you understand? The voice's voice is calling, asking, can we be free? The sky so dark, the light so bright. To know that I see you, I know you're not there. It's very late, but there is still time now. A million years in my eyes. If you look into my eyes, you could see the universe. Could you understand? The voice's voice is calling us, saying, can we be free?
This is so much better. Okay. I can actually look at you. Okay. We look so hard for something that brings us happiness. We tend to look outside ourselves and forget what we have within. We put our hands together to find peace in our days. The present moment is all we have. Don't let it slip away. If we close our eyes, remember all that we have. Our hearts will feel a brighter day. We'll sing Namo Amida, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida, Namo Amida Butsu. Sometimes we get overwhelmed by all the hatred and pain. If we can look past our differences, there's so much we can gain. If we open our eyes to see the beauty inside, our hearts will feel a brighter day. We'll sing Namo Amida, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida, Namo
This is M.A. Matthew Souls. The Parable of the Mustard Seed. During the Buddha's time, there lived a woman named Kisa Gatami. She married young and gave birth to a son. One day the baby fell sick and died soon after. Kisa Gatami loved her son greatly and refused to believe that her son was dead. She carried the body of her son around her village, asking if there was anyone who could bring her son back to life. The villagers all saw that the son was already dead and there was nothing that could be done. They advised her to accept his death and make arrangements for the funeral. In great grief, she fell upon her knees and clutched her son's body close to her body. She kept uttering for her son to wake up. A village elder took pity on her and suggested to her to consult the Buddha. Kisa Gatami, we cannot help you, but you should go to the Buddha. Maybe he can help you. She immediately went to the Buddha's residence and pleaded for him to bring her son back to life. Kisa Gatami, I have a way to bring your son back to life. My lord, I will do anything to bring my son back. If that is the case, then I need you to find me something. Bring me a mustard seed, but it must be taken from a house where no one residing in the house has ever lost a family member. Bring the seed back to me, and your son will come back to life. Kisa Gatami went from house to house, trying to find the mustard seed. At the first house, a young woman offered to give her some mustard seeds, but when Kisa Gatami asked if she had ever lost a family member to death, the young woman said her grandmother died a few months ago. She moved on to the second house. A husband died a few years ago. The third house lost an uncle, and the fourth house lost an aunt. She kept moving from house to house, but the answer was always the same. Every house had lost a family member to death. Kisa Gatami finally came to realize that there is no one in the world who has never lost a family member to death. She now understood that death is inevitable and a natural part of life. Putting aside her grief, she buried her son in the forest. She then returned to the Buddha and became his follower. This is a story from a long time ago that teaches us that grief and loss have always been with us and we are not alone with it. One of the things I like about the story is that the Buddha does not give Kisa Gatami the answer. He gives her a task so she can discover the answer herself. The Buddha would tell his followers, do not believe what I say, meaning go out and experience the Dharma for yourself and discover if it is your own truth. By doing this, Kisa Gatami was able to discover the truth of impermanence for her own self, and this way it became much more meaningful. 4 years ago, when my father passed away, I think my dentist said it best. My father and I shared the same dentist, and when he asked how my father was doing, and I said that he had just passed, my dentist said, well, that's what's supposed to happen, right? Right. Now, could this refer to any suffering that we may experience? You are not alone. We all share similar circumstances and emotions. Could this also apply to anything that we carry around with us? Anything that we use as an excuse to hold us back? The Buddha said, do not believe what I say, find your own truth. Fun fact, it was said that the monks were very surprised at Buddha's promise to bring the child back to life, that he gave a false hope. Instead, he gave ultimate hope.
Thank you, Matt. So the notes that I put on the bottom there, it's a video, a YouTube video. Nick Cave, the song is actually Hollywood. So Nick Cave's been around for a long time. Does some kind of I don't know, esoteric type music. Is very unique music. But anyway, his son had fallen off a cliff a couple years ago. His son was 15 years old. He passed away. And Nick Cave is not actually religious. He's not Buddhist, but he found this story that Matt had just read, and he actually kind of was on sabbatical for quite a while and came back just shortly, just a little while ago. And he actually quotes this in this video here. It's about a 10-minute video, and I think about 8 minutes or so. But he actually quotes this, and I think that brings it. a lot of the Buddhist stories, penetrate beyond just Buddhist or sanghas. And this is a story of how that actually worked out. So again, thank you, Matt. Okay, we're going up to Oregon now. And this is Reverend Yuki, and so he's pretty prolific. He plays classical, rock, jazz, and you could find a lot of his videos on YouTube. It's about a 5-minute, but you can actually sing along with this. I think everyone knows this, and we'll come back after this.
Thank you for watching today's summer service. We have a selective saying from Matt.
Just as rain falls on all vegetation, so Buddha's compassion extends equally to all people. But just as different plants receive particular benefits from the same rain, so people of different nature and circumstances are blessed by different methods.
And then we'll go show Matt.
Please join me in Gasho. Please join us in Gasho.
Yes.
Namo Metta Butsu. Namo Metta Butsu.
Namandas. Namandas. Again, thank you, and everyone take care. I'm sure we'll be seeing each other soon.
Thank you, everyone. We're thinking about you, and we'll see you real soon.